But now let's go live to Central Park, a guaranteed sell-out crowd for this mouth-watering Silk Cup Challenge Cup quarter-final. The big two, Wigan against St Helens. Let's join our commentators, Joe Lyden and John Champion.
The brash inhabitants of New York will claim that there's only one Central Park. Fortunately, we know different, because when the Saints come marching into Wigan, this is very definitely the only place to be. Wherever rugby league is played, this fixture is held up as the ultimate in derby contests. The towns are separated by the East Lancs Road and little more, yet united by a century of tradition and by the fact that both these places owe their fame more to rugby league than to any other single attraction. The clubs have won the Challenge Cup 23 times between them. In fact, no other teams have had a look-in for the past 9 years. Wigan appear resurgent now that John Money is back as coach. St Helens, the holders, face their toughest possible test. And interest in this game is such that all the tickets were sold inside 2 days. John Money, for his part, has won 14 major trophies in his first spell here. He's only been back for around about 4 months, so he's still assessing some of the players on his staff, but he's brought in 4 battle-hardened Australians, Mark Bell and Danny Moore in the three-quarters, hooky Robbie McCormack and prop Tony Mestrov. Jason Robinson has scored a hat-trick in both the previous 2 rounds, which brought easy wins, and therein lies a potential problem. Wigan haven't been fully tested yet. That's not the case for St Helens, who were pushed hard by Warrington in the last round. Their team is unchanged. Paul Aitchison and Bobby Goulding are former Wigan players. Prop Julian O'Neill was released by John Money when with Auckland, and the half-back pairing of Goulding and Tommy Martin may well hold the key to a door that usually stays firmly locked.
Downward pressure was not completed.
Farrell. Aitchison looking a little uncertain. Sullivan. Getting outside, Danny Moore. Now is he away? There are flailing arms. Trying to take one of his legs, but he's found Chris Smith, and it's a race between Smith and Radlinski. And it looks to be a race that Smith is going to win. St Helens take the lead with a 60-metre try.
Could we say against the run of play? Certainly Wigan have had the majority of the possession and territorial advantage, but on this occasion it's a fantastic break by St Helens. Anthony Sullivan out of defence, coming out of his own half, a fantastic break down the sideline to result in the try by Smith.
Wigan looking for an equalising score with Farrell and Danny Moore. Smith. Cowie. Tony Smith once more, now Dennis Betts. Leaves it to Henry Paul. Paul back to Connolly. Connolly on the diagonal run. Last tackle. McCormack to Farrell. Long pass to Danny Moore. And Danny Moore is in. A huge pass from Andy Farrell. Picking out this mountain of a man, Danny Moore, the big Queenslander signed at Christmas. Had only one man to beat on his run to the line, and such was his size and his momentum that Moore was always going to win that particular battle, and he's pulled Wigan back into this tie.
Come on, Wigan!
Here's the replay of Chris Joynt, who gets hit just after he releases the ball, and I think that'll be a winding is determined, with the wind leaving his body at speed too. Andy Farrell hit him just as he relaxed, having let the ball go in the pass. One lesson there is do not relax, especially when Andy Farrell is close by.
The referee, Stuart Cummings, making the point that St Helens have to get on with matters, even though Joynt is lying injured 30 or 40 metres away. So they go into this scrum.
And the very bad news for St Helens is that they're indicating that Chris Joynt is going to have to leave the field.
As Jason Robinson picks the ball up and goes clear, over halfway, over the 20-metre line. It's a one-man race, but only he can win. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting for Jason Robinson to make an impact. And what an impact when finally he steps clear, goes through the gears into overdrive, and went over the line unopposed for a try that puts Wigan in front for the first time. Stuart Cummings controlling this game. He's had a difficult week because he is a school teacher in Holland, which is slap bang in the middle of Wigan and St Helens. Half his class supports Saints and the other half support Wigan. Bobby Goulding, who's represented both clubs. New love to Anthony Sullivan, in at the corner. Anthony Sullivan for St Helens.
Made the first one, scored the second one for St Helens. The mistake by Wigan which turned the ball over. As soon as that happens, St Helens respond.
The essence of Saints Wigan contest down the years. As soon as one side gets in front, the other comes right back. Henry Paul from the scrum to Tony Smith. Now, can Smith find the acceleration? He could, but so did two St Helens tacklers. Farrell, Dennis Betts to within 8 metres. McCormack to Andy Farrell, to Henry Paul. This is where the discipline of St Helens is going to be fully tested. McCormack, Neil Cowie, picked up by Houghton. Houghton scrambling through, stretching, and just about getting over the line for a try. The referee consulted his colleagues on either side, who had their eagle eyes looking at the touchline. And Simon Houghton must have extendable arms.
Yeah, that's right, but we don't look like we're trying to do that at the moment, do we?
Thanks, Dale.
Dennis Betts over the 20-metre line. Little shilly-shally, change of direction, a few extra metres gained. Will it be the drop goal attempt again? It's Farrell, who's more or less mugged by Sculthorpe. But then Tony Smith digs through. Smith offloads to Dennis Betts! And Dennis Betts, on his return to Wigan, scores the try that may well take them through to the semi-finals of the Challenge Cup. He must have written the script himself.
John Monet, risk what risk? I'll play this player, I'll bring him off the bench and he'll have a great influence. Those were his words, and that's exactly what Dennis Betts has done. It would be true to say that Wigan were trying to get the drop goal in. Andy Farrell attempt.
John Mooney through to the semi-finals, and with me another coach through to the semi-finals, Sheffield's John Keir. How did you sum up that game? Because Wigan certainly took their chances in that second half.
They did. I thought it was a tremendous arm wrestle of a game for 60 minutes, and I thought St Helens contributed greatly. And for the first 20 minutes after half-time, they were getting good field position and they looked to be getting on top. But then Wigan just ran away with it at the end, and it all hinged on sort of Simon Houghton's try, really. And he really showed sort of blood, guts, determination and desire, and sometimes cup ties can be won on that, because we talk about skill levels and tactical planning, but there's times when it just gets down to that in rugby league.
A little lack of concentration too towards the end, weariness maybe?
Yes, obviously both sides would have tired a little, because it was such an intense game, but I mean, when they scored from the drop goal attempt, it was simply the fact that St Helens to flow out the line to try and close the drop goal attempt down. It caused gaps to appear, and then the try really sealed it. So I just think it was an absolutely tremendous advert for rugby league football, and you know, I think the BBC will be quite pleased with the two offerings that they've had this weekend.
Certainly have. I mean, looking at that, would Wigan be a team obviously you'd like to avoid in the semi-final? I
think you've just got to, if you're going to win the cup, you're going to have to play the top teams, and if we get drawn against them, we get drawn against them. But there's other alternatives as well. So
what nap for you between now and the semi-final?
Well, what we'll do is we'll have a look at our own game, and we'll try to sort of analyse any weaknesses that came up, and we'll try to improve on them. And then as soon as we know who we're playing, we'll try to identify a few weaknesses there and attack them, and we'll hopefully sort of come up with the right result again. So. And
you will know tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I believe, at 5 to 7, yes. So it's a big day tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, good luck. Thanks very much, John, for joining us today. Wish you best of luck in that semi-final. You might be interested, though, just to see the latest in the Silk Cut quarter-final. Other matches being played. It's London Broncos 6, Hull Kingston Rovers 10, and Salford Reds 12, Hull Sharks 6. Those matches kicked off at 3 o'clock. We'll bring